Oh, boy. We lost a great one. Hulk Hogan, real name Terry Jean Belay, 71 years old. That seems so young now, right? We're living longer. Although well, sometimes, right? We see people go way too early for... This is bad, all right? I love the guy. And it was a year ago right now, this month, when one of the coolest political speeches ever was delivered at that RNC in Cleveland right after President Trump got shot.
You know, when I look out and I see all the real Americans, I think about how Donald Trump, his family was compromised. When I look out there and I see Donald Trump, I think about how his business was compromised. But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States? Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
It was awesome. It horrified the dominant media, but so what? It was cool also. He gave some of the speeches Hulk Hogan, then as Terry Belay, and then as Hulk and Terry, back and forth. But, you know, and President Trump loved it. Here's a little bit more.
I've known that man for over 35 years, and he's always been the biggest patriot, and he still is. He's always told you exactly what he thought, and he still does, brother. And no matter the odds, he always finds a way to win. And when he's back in our White House, America is going to start winning again.
Well, the people loved it, and you know it was a great speech because the fake news hated it. They didn't understand it. They were like, who is this guy? What is he? Or they pretended, at least.
Peter Thiel spoke at Donald Trump's RNC in 2016. Now it's Hulk Hogan. I don't know if anybody else in the sex tape will appear.
It was a little bit too much of a joke. Hulk Hogan, also crazy voice. He sounded like some kind of Disney version of a wrestling star making a political speech.
The Hulk Hogan thing, I was like, really? My God.
He's like 80. I don't want to see him like an 80-year-old ripping on the shirt.
That's right. If I showed, as a black man, any level of that kind of confidence, I'd be considered uppity.
And aggressive.
And aggressive.
And dangerous.
And they'd be a noose ready for me.
No, you're just crazy. And who's that again? Who is that again? Anyway, I think she retired from television. That was amusing. But I want to talk a little bit more about Terry Belay, Hulk Hogan, what he went through in life. That snide remark about the sex tape. Well, that was a thing. Do you remember? It was put online. This is, I guess, such an invasion of his privacy. He's in clothes there, right? But Gawker came out. They got a sex tape. He didn't know he was being taped. Even for a minute, watching Hulk Hogan have sex in a canopy bed is not safe for work, but watch it anyway. Gawker put this up. They made money off of it. It really was embarrassing, this Gawker media. So he had some decisions to make. You know what? Maybe I'll just sue Gawker Media. And he did. He went in with his lawyers. It was a long, hard fight. And nothing comes easy. They put him on the stand, and they asked him embarrassing questions. His lawyers had to ask him some embarrassing questions. And then, you know, the other side get up, and they want to destroy him. They didn't, because he was totally and completely honest and open.
Do you have any doubt, as you sit in that witness stand today, that you were discussing the length of your penis on Bubba's radio program? Any doubt?
Well, it's not mine, because mine isn't that size, but we were discussing the length of Hulk Hogan's.
Seriously? So you
No, seriously, I do not have a 10-inch penis. No, I do not. Seriously.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. They actually brought it up. Remember what happened? He had consensual sex in a home in a private home, and there was a camera in there that he didn't know about. The whole thing was recorded and put online. That could be traumatizing. He won. He won that case. There's the moment. You can't see his face. I'm told he was very emotional. Actually started to cry. And there's one of his lawyers. How good that must have felt. And take a look at this. What they won. When you added up the punitive damages and everything, $140 million to Hulk Hogan from Gawker Media. They put it out of business. But it wasn't just Hulk and his lawyers. There's a bit of an angel helping every step of the way.
When I was a kid, the great debate was about how to defeat the Soviet Union, and we won. Now we are told that the great debate is about who gets to use which bathroom. This is a distraction from our real problems. Who cares?
Peter Thiel, tech guy, he invented PayPal, worth, billions and billions and billions of dollars. In 2016, he came out publicly for Trump when hardly anybody was doing it, especially from Silicon Valley. And that nasty publication came out and said that Peter Thiel, totally gay, people. This is like something out of second grade. He didn't want it out there, but they put it out there. You can't really sue for that, but he didn't like it. And the word is, behind the scenes, he teamed up with Hulk Hogan. This happened years before, back in '07, and then a few years later, the Hulk Hogan thing. Peter Thiel, ultra rich, helped fund the lawsuit, because to fight a big media company, lawyers working full time, Hulk Hogan has done well, but it could stretch anybody's resources beyond, and Peter Thiel was helping. And that's how they won. And it's pretty cool. There's a book about this, by the way. You can read it, the whole thing. Conspiracy, Peter Thiel, Hulk Hogan, Gawker, and the Anatomy of Intrigue by Ryan Holiday. It's kind of awesome. Hulk Hogan and Peter Thiel. Who'd have thunk it, but it was pretty cool. All right, so a couple of more things about our hero for the day as we look at Terry Jean Belay. I first got to know him, like everybody else my age probably, in Rocky III.
Thunderlips is here, in the flesh, baby.
Oh my God.
The ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball.
Keep going.
A man who calls himself the ultimate object of desire, the mountain of molten lust, the one, the only, Thunderlips.
I love those little nicknames he gives himself. The mountain of molten lust, object of desire, the ultimate whatever. Let's see some fighting.
Oh my God, Balboa is really in pain.
No one can believe the superhuman strength of Thunderlips. I'm the man.
Stop it!
You want this punching bag, Adrian?
Just heave clear into the fifth row. Now the fans are outraged too.
I'm going to drag him down the aisle like a dirty rag.
I love wrestling so much sometimes. That was just a movie. It was all kind of fun. And President Trump did know Hulk Hogan for a very, very... Oh, wait. We have one more picture. At the end of that match, they were all friends, right? They took a Polaroid. Remember? It was all for charity. A couple of minutes later, it was time for Mr. T, Clubber Lang. So back to Trump and Hulk Hogan, known each other for 35 years. And President Trump put out a very nice Truth Social about the whole thing. Let's go through it. We lost a great friend today. The Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, was MAGA all the way. Strong, tough, smart, but with the biggest heart. He gave an absolutely electric speech at the Republican National Convention. That was one of the highlights of the entire week. He entertained fans from all over the world, and the cultural impact he had was massive. To his wife, Sky, and family, we give our warmest, best wishes and love. Hulk Hogan will be greatly missed. How about that? Well said. All right.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.